The film crew goes on expedition to Namangan region. Now the goal is to film Nowruz festivities, traditional ceremonies, tourism opportunities and other similar processes in the region, as well as to prepare a series of shows. In the previous issue of the program, they finished the topic after filming a ferry connecting two destinations in the part where the Great Syr Darya crosses the village of Toda and Mingblock of Pop district. Today they are going to tell about the Nowruz celebrations in the region. Our people's favorite holiday is in full swing throughout the region. The film crew takes part in the festivities in the Bobur and Afsonalar Baga parks in the region. In two gardens, sumalak was being cooked in about 30 pots. Everyone is smiling, playing games, dancing and having fun. Festive performances with the participation of our compatriots of different nationalities, ensembles, folklore, folk ethnographic and circus groups, well-known pop singers, performances of famous writers and poets delighted everyone. Human gets much bored of winter. That is why he looks forward to spring, the most beautiful season with yarn. Farmers start spring work from the first days of Nowruz. As if the earth had been waiting for the new year, it breathes freely and begins to flourish.
Dağlardan zalvarlı tağlar Hayalimni keldiler basib Kechdi qancha intizor chog'lar Vasling menga bo'lmadi nasib Sensiz men ham bahor ham g'arib Sen bahorni sog'inmading Sensiz men ham bahor ham g'arib Sen bahorni sog'inmading baharni sog'inmadim.
When the sumalak is ready, good intentions are expressed, and with the blessing the pots are opened. The bulk of it is delivered to the houses of mercy, hospitals, and families in need in the region. Tourists and residents of the region also enjoy the spring meal. With the arrival of spring, nature awakens. The world is covered with greenery. New emotions are eroded in human nature. Kindness and goodness inspire everyone to joy, hard work, and noble qualities. The festivities are celebrated in all districts and villages of the region. On the way, the group members entered the new Bunyakor neighborhood. Here too, the holiday was very beautiful. On the pretext of the holiday, circumcision weddings of children from low-income families were held, as well as various gifts such as bicycles were given to the little ones. After filming the Nowruz celebrations, the group takes its way to the beginning of the Syrdarya River in cooperation with the Media Department of the Namangan Regional Administration. Now they are sailing along the Norin River. The rain is also falling softly. Two hours later, they arrive at the destination. They stop on the bank of the Syrdarya. When the boats are ready, they will all sail there. Before that, they ask the locals about the history of Norin and Karadarya River. Rivers. The conversation is about the history of the Syrdarya.
Bu daryomuz shu yerdan Orol dengiziga borguncha
This river is 2,232 kilometers from here to the Aral Sea. Many historians have written about the history of the river in their works. According to the Roman historian Pilonier, these were the places where the tribe named Silis had lived. That is why the river is called Syrdarya, after the name of the tribe. This river is the lifeblood of Central Asia. It supplies water to many parts of Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan as well as Kazakhstan and reaches the Aral Sea. Due to the existence of this river, life has developed here since ancient times.
hayot rivojlangan.
Our people who loved nature and valued its gifts tell that in ancient times the Syrdarya was often overflowed and was more kind and caring to people than it is today. To this day, however, the water is far back, as if it were angry with us. The river used to be very big, quite wide. There was a flood in the 70s of the last century, you know. I am smaller than you. I do remember the 1986 flood. It was flooded on the day of Eid Arafah. On the lower sides of the dam over there were all puddles. I can remember that. I think that when the flood came, Anwarjan, you see both rivers join. The main tributaries of this river, the Karadarya, flows from this side of Norin district and the Norin River on the other side, forming the Sydarya one. That flood was so big, I don't remember it now. Then people were evacuated by helicopters. I compared the previous latitudes of this river to the present latitudes of the Amazon. In the past, there was a lot of water in these places. Here we see the current state of the Sydarya River as a result of the withdrawal of water from the river into canals and streams after the land acquisitions. There is a village called Huiltepa on the border of Norin district. In this village, there was a big town fortress called Elatan. The perimeter of this fortress was surrounded by a wall of water, forming a large lake. First of all, Syrdarya played an important role in defending the city from the enemy. There is information in historical manuscripts that traders traveled by ship from the Aral Sea to the city of Elatan. Moreover, There were giant fish in the river a century or two ago. It seems to be hard to believe now when we hear it, right? But at that time, the waters of the great river reached the Aral Sea in a full and large stream. As a result, it's likely that the giant fish on the Aral Sea floated freely along the deep and wide riverbed.
Karadaryoda bir ali ovchi bo'lgan ekan.
Once upon a time, there was a fisherman in Karadarya. One day, he went down to Karadarya bank to wash his hands. When he came to the water, it was a platform. He went down to the platform and washed his hands by the river. As he washed his hands, the platform began shaking. When he looked around to see whether it was an earthquake, he saw a 3 or 4 meters large fish resting on the shore. The people said that the fisherman had been standing on this big fish.
Chiqqan ekanda shuni aytib bergan.
Of course, there have been many other amazing and interesting events related to such a vibrant river. This land with an ancient history had many selfless children who had been serving the people. One of such persons is a scholar known to the people as Ishan Baba. This man has served our people so much. He served the people and caravans who came from the Great Silk Road during the hot years after World War II, carrying caravans across the river to the other side. His tomb is located on the right bank of the Norin River. One of the painful issues here is connected with fishing. Excessive catching of fish by some people has seriously damaged their numbers and species. The worst thing is to catch these fish with electricity and various chemicals, perishing especially young fish and many other underwater creatures.
Hozir ham mana shu daryolarda
Even now in rivers and canals, some people catch fish with electricity and chemicals, leading to the perishment of many creatures and small fish. This river and the wealth in it is the food of our future generations. We should leave it in a better conditions if possible.
bunga qo'shimcha nimalardir qilgan holatda qoldirishimiz kerak.
This great river has been a source of life for indigenous people for thousands of years. The river water, the fish in it, the surrounding grass and plants, the simple stone or sand at the bottom of it are also a great treasure for us.
Yetti xazina degan bir gap yuradi-da xalqimizda.
There is a saying, 7 treasures in our nation. If it were acceptable, I would have called Syrdarya the 8th treasure. As you can see in the image from Uchkorgan on the Uzbek border to this point, there are many private companies that import and use construction materials from the river. Today they take gravel, stones and sand from here, and the next day the river brings another one and fill it. This is a real 8th treasure. When the building materials from Syrdarya, gravel, sand and others were tested in the laboratory of building materials in Russia, the materials from our river were among the highest quality and the purest building materials. Therefore, the value of this river is so high for us. We need to preserve it.
Asrashimiz kerak, avaylashimiz kerak.
Unfortunately, today our attitude to the 8th treasure and to nature in general is not even 1/100th of the blessings it gives us. It can only be compared to cutting the branch on which you sit. The Karadarya river flows from the Andijan side, and the Norin river flows from this side, and they join in the middle. And from here you can see the Syrdarya begins. Norin side is crystal pure. If you look at the middle part, foam is coming out. These are the black waters of the Karadarya. This is where the great river begins. Here come the boats. Now they all sail together to the river confluence, but they get very excited. They are overwhelmed by some strange emotions. They are sailing along the Syrdarya to the confluence. After another 50 meters, they have reached its beginning. The river flows with moderate noise. Here they come to the confluence as well. On one side there is the Norin river with its blue waters, and in the other is muddy water belonging to the Karadarya, which is flowing very fast. At the confluence, however, the intensity of the water has increased even more, as if some sort of process is taking place. Havers take a good care. Something unique, isn't it? But if you don't care very attentively, it will seem normal to you. In fact, every minute of life is full of magic and mystery. If you look closely, you just have to understand it. Now they sail along the stream. The next address will be to the ancient Aztec. Zahruddin Muhammad Babur went to Andijan by water from these places. The water of the Karadarya is more muddy. It's also more rapid. The companions say that one of the most painful and dangerous cases here is the case of taking stones from this river. Excavations of rock around the riverbed is allowed, but river islands cannot be touched. This is because different waterfowls nest on these islands during the breeding season. There is a big problem in this seemingly insignificant situation as well. The removal of rocks from the river islands would result in the depletion of many plants, trees, and shrubs in addition to birds. The group stops at one of these islands. It seems to be a new island with many young shoots sprouting. However, they also come across many medicinal plants along the way. What diseases it can be helpful for? It helps for cardiovascular diseases and to reduce high blood pressure. It's a lot of such herbs on the islands. Is it more in other places? No, it can be met by the water on the shores. How is it used? How to prepare? Cook samsa and cooked chuchwara are cooked. You can also make tea and drink it. It's a poplar, a new plant. The poplars are sprouting. If gravel is not taken from here, these seedlings can become a large tree in some years. Then the birds nest in these trees, right? Yes, it will be safe for the nestling. As a result of the disappearance of such islands, the trees and plants in them disappear, and as a result, it affects the number of surrounding creatures and birds. Recently, waterfowl have been suffering from illegal mining on the islands, because they mostly build nests among the bush on the islands or in the sand. When the islands disappear, the birds are forced to build nests along the shore. In this case, not only the eggs or nestlings of birds, but even their own lives are in danger. Unfortunately, the waste dumped by the population on the banks of the river is washed away and dumped on such islands. They come across a lot of such rubbish on the island. This situation makes everyone very upset. The saddest thing they see on the island is the corpse of this animal. Isn't that a source of disease? They are close to the beginning of the river. How many people irrigate crops and fields from this river water? How many animals and cattle drink this water? Isn't it the same as killing the people and the animals that live around the river? Let's think about it. After all, we are conscious beings. Now the expedition crew moves on its way. If they sail this way, they will reach Tashkent in 3 hours. Along the way, they make a conversation with their companions. Due to the fact that the river water is very rich in nutrients, almost no fertilizers are used for irrigated crops. This muddy water contains mineral fertilizers, many useful elements, and in terms of usefulness, it's even higher than the water of the Amazon River. Scientists who have conducted scientific research in this regard have come to the same conclusion. It is because of this muddy water that the fish here become very large. The existence of food and life here is at a very high level. That is why the fish here are so large and tasty. There are cultivated lands on both sides of the river. Their farmers cultivated crops. They grew mung beans, vegetables, watermelons. Watermelons are extremely sweet, saturated with mineral fertilizer, and drank the water of the Norin River. The fish is also very tasty. That is why melons and fruits are sweet. It's all because of mineral fertilizers. Do you give other mineral fertilizers after irrigating with this river water? No, we don't. Is it so sweet only with river water? Yes, it is. Or do you mix anything? No, we use only this water in agriculture. The brushwood on the river bank is thick. They stop here. There are a lot of growing trees here that were seen in the island some ago. Some species of willow also grow here. This tree is called osier. It is also enlisted in the Red Book. How many types of willow are there? Black willow, osier, blue willow, poplar. After filming them, the expedition crew boards the boats and sails towards Tashkent. They reach their destination in 2 hours, so we have to stop here for now, and we will continue the topic in the next episode of our program.